Hey guys, Sam here at NA Studios. I'm going to show you a trick here for how to stop your lead vocal and your guitars from clashing. So in hard rock, metal, punk, whatever it is, you've always got that battle of how to get your vocal to sit on top of the guitars, but not to sit on it too much, and also to let your guitars come through when they need to. Now, EQing is a way to do that. You can EQ some of the mid-range out of the guitars that is also occupied by the vocal. But sometimes you want that to be in there. Sometimes that's what's helping the guitar cut through. So what I've got here is a method for compressing that that EQ area, the kind of high mids, that 4K area that the guitars need for some bite, but the vocal also needs as well. So I was doing it using a plugin called TDR-Nova. So this is from Tokyo Dawns. So this is actually a parallel dynamic EQ. Okay, so it's a little bit different from a multi-band compressor, but in this instance, it kind of achieves the same thing because we're using a set ratio attack and release. So what I've got is the meter here is showing what's coming on the side chain. The side chain is bus 9, which is the vocal bus, and we're telling it to receive an external side chain. So I've got this on the guitar bus. The guitar bus has this inserted in it, and into the side chain is the lead vocal bus. And this has got an EQ set at 4.8 kilohertz. And what happens is when the vocal sounds, when you can hear the vocal, i.e. in the singing sections, it will duck that EQ around 4.8 kilohertz. When there's no vocal, it won't duck it. So when the guitar needs that high mid-range to cut through and get that real bite that punk needs, it has it. But when the vocal needs that area, the guitar just gets out of the way for it and allows it to jump through. Let's have a listen before we put this on, and then we'll turn it on, and then we'll have a listen back and forth. You'll be able to hear that the guitar is kind of masking the vocals a little bit, just in that high mid-range. It's just getting in the way. Okay, so now I'm going to try it again with TDR-Nova on. And I'm going to switch it on, off, on, off. So have a look at this bypass button up here. I'm going to start with it on. So you can hear when that plugin is not on, when it's bypassed, the guitars seem to just come up a little bit in that high mid range. And what then happens is, by proxy, it feels like the vocal kind of comes down a little bit. There's nothing really happening from a level point of view, it's just an EQ thing. So when the vocals come in, they should be sitting on the top, but they can't get through as much as they need to because the guitars are occupying that frequency space. So what we're doing is we're keeping the guitars up there when they need to be there, but then when the vocals come in, we're dropping that down a little bit. And we can see here exactly the frequency space that it occupies and exactly what's coming in on the vocal. Because I've got that, the meters set to the side chain, the external side chain, the meters that are here, the waves that are here, are showing me what's coming in on the vocal track. Well, I'm not gonna go to school today, 'cause everybody is just late. You can see it stops when the vocals stop. So I've zoned this in around that vocal area, and it helps to clean it up nicely. You can do this on several tracks. You could do this on, for example, a snare and overhead track. If you had the overheads and the snare didn't sound that great in it, if there was one area across the snare's frequency spectrum that sounded a bit rubbish in the overheads, you could just duck it just when the snare hits. A multitude of ideas. And this is a free plugin. This is absolutely fantastic. TDR-Nova, Tokyo Dawns, I believe is the company, and it's called Nova. This is the free edition. There is a paid-for version, the Gentleman's Edition. I've not tried that. This is just all I need. This is absolutely fantastic. Go check it out, and also go check out nastudios.co.uk. Have a look at the Instagram, have a look at the Facebook page, and subscribe after this video and watch what's coming up next. Cheers.